Hello, 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 and happy Monday. Happy Monday. Monday. It's Monday once again. Hello, and welcome to Miss G's Ladies Lounge. I am your host, Gwen Finley. That's me. Hello. I hope and pray that you are ready to engage in a general little conversation with me today, a little lounge chat. I am here. I'm excited to be here again on this magnificent Monday. And I hope that you will let your friends know, your family know that we are live and on the air. Welcome to each and every one who will tune into this, whether it's live or after catching the replay. Welcome to Miss G's Ladies Lounge. This is a place, this is the relaxation station. You can let your hair hang down, you can sit back and relax and just have a wonderful time. A wonderful time. So today is Monday, October the 4th. We are already in October. Can you believe this? We are already in October. It is amazing how quickly this year has gone by. And I'm so excited for October because I believe that the next 3 months are going to be so awesome and so productive for many of us who have worked through the pandemics and worked through the year, the winter month, the summer month, all the months and all the year long. And we are ready. I believe that we are ready for what's next. I am just so glad to see my niece is popping in. Hey, Roxanne Mora. So glad to have you here with me today. And for all of you that are joining in and that's excited about this Monday, this October 4th, and what's getting ready to happen, I'm just excited for each and every one of you. So today we're just going to have a simple lounge chat. I wanted to really just chat with you about some business. Just it's time to talk business. Let's talk business. All right. What I like to do is just give Facebook another few minutes to just gather our audience. So I'm going to just let you sit back for a moment and relax, and let's get this show started. Okay, well, welcome back. I am here in Miss G's Ladies Lounge once again, excited and ready to just share a few things with you. I'm going to share some things. And those of you that are catching the replay, if you'd like to just drop something down and say, hey, I was here, hashtag replay, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you again for joining us. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about something that many people don't really talk about, but I wanted to talk about business etiquette. Business etiquette. Let's put it that way. Business etiquette. Business savvy. I know that there was a lot of people that probably have talked to you about business and they talk to you about how to do this and how to do that. But there is still something that we need to connect to in business, and that is the etiquette of business, integrity, having integrity. Those are some very, very important things that we have to really keep in mind when it comes to business, when it comes to ministry, leadership, any of those types of things. We have to have such a sense of uh, serving others with excellence, serving others with how we would want to be served. there's a scripture that says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's not just a scripture about, whether you treat someone kind, as in whether you're saved or not saved or whatever, but it's also a part of business. In business, uh, they say that there's also a scripture. I have yet to find it, but I have read some other scriptures about business in the Bible. But they say there's a scripture in there that says, "In business, be men." I'm still trying to find that scripture, Dr. Z. Michelle Hughes. But in the scriptures, it does talk about a lot of different things about business. You can go and you can research many of them. However, let's talk today just about some business integrity and some business etiquette. Now, I'm not saying that I have done everything correctly and I have crossed every T and dotted every I. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I just want to talk about some things that we really need to be mindful of when we are conducting business with one another. And one of the first things is communication. Communication is always, always, always important. Communication is key. You heard people say that all the time. Communication is key. How you communicate to one another, or if you communicate to one another, is extremely important. A lot of times people will say, call me so we can discuss this. And then when you call them, they don't answer. You leave a voicemail, they never call you back. Hmm. Business integrity, business etiquette. If you tell me to call you, and I call you, you need to call me back. You need to have your assistant, if you're so busy, have your assistant call me back, or somebody who's playing your assistant for the day. Let's communicate with one another on a business level. And it doesn't matter if you know me personally, if I'm doing business with you, then we need to have a business relationship and we need to communicate with one another. So you have people who talk about calls. People will say, well, text me. You text them, they don't acknowledge your text, they don't respond to the text, they don't text back. Business etiquette. You need to respond, even if you're saying, hey, I got your message, I'll get back to you, and then get back. These are some of the areas of communication with business. The next area, which is a hard one for a lot of people, is email. Email is one of the most effective ways to communicate in business. Why? Number one, because it's a paper trail. You can keep that email and you can go back and refer to that email whenever something seems to be not necessarily going the way you thought it should, or if you forgot what you were supposed to be doing and you forgot what your agreement was. Your email is the one thing that is going to be there that you can go back and refer to for that communication that you had with your client, or the communication you had with the person you're doing business with. So these are the things that take place with communication, and they're very important for you to. They're very important for you to be able to follow through on. Follow through communication. So when you get the email, you don't just want to have the email and just read it and then just close it out. Read it, save it. What I do, one of the things that I do, because sometimes I may not have all the answers and I may need to research the answers or get the answer and come back to you. So, one of the things that I do when I'm dealing with any particular person in business is I create a business opportunity in a folder over in the business opportunity section, or any section that I like. I create a business folder. And in that folder, I put all the emails that come from that particular person so that I can refer to them and not have to look all over for them. Sometimes, if I'm out working and I'm doing other things and I open the email, I may forget to put it over there, but I'll go back and research it. When you go into your emails, you can just search that person's name and you can pull up all the emails and all the communication from that particular person. So those are some of the things that is very, very important for your uh, for your communication with everyone. I don't know why my post went to private, so I'm sorry. I just noticed that it went to private, so I'm making it public so everybody can join us on today. And so those are the things that you want to have, and remember that you had a folder over there. Go back to the folder, refer to it, and then, look and get the information that you need to get and follow up on it. So, one of the other things that we want to talk about is, we talked about communication. So, we talked about calls, we talked about text messages, and we talked about emails. And those are three very important ways of communication within your business and your ministry. And so when you are doing these things, if it's not you that they're talking to, if they're talking to your assistant, it would be great if you would allow people to know that it is your assistant that they're communicating with. And why should they know that it's your assistant? Um, or because sometimes people may have some things that they want to talk to just you about. Now, your assistant, yes, should be a confidant as well. But sometimes people, they think that they have a one-on-one relationship with you, and if you have an assistant that's working with you and the assistant is reaching out to them, they should be able to know that they are communicating with an assistant and not directly with the person. Now, that's just my thought. It could be, a lot of times we think we're talking to a celebrity or something. Very seldom you are. And some people want it that way. They want to keep it that way because they change assistants, and that's somewhat fine. But I do think that it would be great if they got to know your assistant, know who they're talking to, know who their relationship is with. Okay. So, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about is integrity in business. So, the business integrity, let me read to you the definition of integrity. It says the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles or moral uprightness, the state of being whole and undivided, the condition of being unified, unimpaired, or sound in construction. So, and then they talk about like integrity in a device, which is a lack of corruption. So, integrity is an extremely important part of business. People have to be able to trust you to do what you say you're going to do. If you have anything you want to add to what I'm saying, go on. Let's chime in on the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and we can talk about that. But people want to know that the person they're dealing with, they can trust them with business. They can trust them with ministry. If you're a counselor, can people trust you to tell you their innermost feelings and thoughts and trust you not to tell everyone else? Can they trust you? Can they trust you that when they tell you those things, you won't take what they have told you and start looking at them with a side eye. Can they trust you to be not biased, to be able to come and hear what they have to say and still serve them with a spirit of excellence, despite what you think about them? That's what business is, integrity is all about. Now, you may not agree with things people do or say. You have the right then to say, well, I think it would be better for you, if you found someone else to work with you that may be more apt to understand your situation or whatever. That's more integrity than for you to work with them, talk about them behind their back, make them feel like they are less of anything because of whatever it is that they're dealing with. So you have to have some integrity in your business executions. Integrity can also include talking to people and telling people that you're going to do one thing and you turn around and do something different. There's no integrity there. If you're going to do something different, you need to have what we talked about in the beginning, which was communication. And then there needs to be an agreement with both parties that, okay, I understand you're going to change up the way we're going to do these things, and I accept your change. Sometimes it needs to be in writing, sometimes it can be a verbal agreement. When I was in college, yes, I did go to college for a little while. I was actually studying to be a legal secretary, and I learned all about the different. And don't ask me now because that was probably 40 years ago or more. I don't know, but anyway, there were different types of contracts, and there were different types of agreements that you could have with the person. And so when you have to first agree on the type of agreement that you're going to have. If it's going to be verbal, it's going to be verbal. But make sure that you, as the business owner, as the business leader, make sure that you do your part. Preferably, you want to have everything in writing. As I said, it could just be an email because that you can go back and refer to. You can have that and print that out. And emails, as we saw with the presidency, it stands up in court, right? You can even do text messages. And so the things that you do, you want to make sure that they are something that you can refer to, something that you can have that agreement with the person that you are talking to. So again, if you want to do a verbal contract, if you want to do a written contract, if you want to do an email contract, whatever it is that you're going to do, you need to make sure that both parties are in agreement. This is a business integrity, right? All right. So, one of the other things, when you contract your clients, you want to make sure that even some of the small details are in agreement. If you're doing something in a certain location, make sure that the location is agreed upon by both parties. Don't take people to a place that you wouldn't go to, or don't send them to a place you wouldn't go to. Don't allow people to feel like you have played them down. You want to give them the best experience. Even if they've never had an experience before, give them the best experience and let them see something that's great. Excuse me, but don't try to play people down and say, well, I don't think they can afford this, so I'm just going to put them, send them over here. That's not for you to decide, but you can agree on that if they agree with it. And another thing I would think is, don't send anyone any place you've never been before. If you've never been there and you don't know anything about it, now I'm not talking about travel agents, because travel agents, you may not get everywhere, you may not know everywhere, but you need to be researching reviews, and looking and seeing what are the people saying about this location. Uh, you can pull up crime reports for the locations nowadays. So it's very important for you to be careful what you are putting people in the middle of. And then they want to know that they can trust you to give them the best experience in your business. The other thing I wanted to say was, as an entrepreneur, or a business owner, or ministry leader, or whatever, when it comes to integrity, you also have to learn, and this is something that's hard for a lot of people to learn, but we have to learn how to stay in the middle. We have to learn how to stay in the middle. It's not, and I said this earlier, it's not for us to judge everything. It's not for us to make determinations by what we think and what we see. Even if it's someone that you know and you're dealing with them and they do something that is not of good integrity, you still need to stay in the middle. And the reason I say that is because you should not go on the left side or the right side, but you need to stay true to you, stay true to the middle. Keep your opinion to yourself. Don't talk about the person. Don't beat the person up. These things are a part of business integrity, because I've seen so many people who have had, problems, and they, shut the person out, and, oh, I'm not going to deal with them no more, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, and you're telling someone else this, and that person is getting, like, oh, well, I better not deal with them because they're this way or that way. And the next thing you know, you see them, those same two people, having a great relationship all over again and doing their business together or doing their thing together. Don't turn around and share everything or every experience that you've had with a person. If you need to step back for a moment, get yourself together, and then work your problem out with that person only. It's good to have a counsel. Yes, it's good to have a counsel, but that person would be someone, if you're going to someone to talk about the situation, they should also have some integrity and be able to listen to the situation, give you the counsel needed, and stay neutral. That's what a good business leader or a good leader in ministry should do, right? So, those are some of the things that we have to think of when we're talking about integrity and business integrity. And being careful not to give your opinion every time you feel like you should. That's very hard for a lot of people. Just because you see something does not mean you have to say something. But if you see something that's going to harm someone, yes, you probably should say something, but knowing when to say it, knowing how to say it, is going to also be detrimental. Because if you say it at the wrong time or you say it the wrong way, you can make or break a person. Okay. Um, as I said, being neutral, if you're coming into agreement with someone, you need to be able to come together, review the terms of the agreement, and be sure that both you and that person are fully able to stand by the agreement. And then you can have a clause, what that may say something like, well, in the event of this type of situation or this type of emergency or whatever, this is what will happen. Spell it all out, because at a later time, you don't want to have to come into a disagreement with someone because you did not handle that and deal with that in the beginning. So many people go for a legal counsel. Many people go for, they may have a lawyer to draw them up some documents, and that's wise if you can afford that. If you can't afford that, there are some standard documents online that you can go and you can look up the standard documents, and you can take them and you can customize them for your business. You can work on, look at them and get an idea of the things that you want to say, even to take to your legal counsel so that they also can prepare those documents for you. Am I helping anybody? As the preacher says, am I helping somebody? I don't see any comments over here. I don't know if you guys are just not talking back to me. I don't know if Facebook is still acting crazy. I'm not sure, but thank you, Deacon Diane Jones, for joining me and for sharing the stream on today. And those of you that have joined in, once again, you are watching Miss G's Ladies Lounge. I am your host, Gwen Finley. I know I look a little different today. My girlfriend wanted to come and hang out with me on today, and so I brought her along. I gave her a seat on the big screen today. So today we are just talking about business and business etiquette. We are talking about integrity. We've talked about communication, and we're talking about how we would love to treat our clients and those that we come in contact with, because that's how we want to be treated. Just think about it. When you go to an establishment, or you go to a restaurant, or you go somewhere, how do you want to be treated? What experience do you want to get? That's the experience you should give. Now, if you just don't care, then you probably shouldn't be in business. But for most people, I don't care who you are, for most people, if you go into an establishment and or you deal with a business person and they say some things that are off, or they do some things that just don't hit it, you're going to start complaining. I used to go to the restaurant. We used to go to the restaurant a lot as young people in the church, and every time we would go to the restaurant, it was like something crazy would just happen at every time we would go in the restaurant. Now this is twofold here, what I'm getting ready to say. But every time we would go in, sometimes they would ignore us. One day I remember we went in, it was a table full of us, and they totally ignored us. Totally ignored us. And it was about 10 or 12 of us at the table. They didn't bring us any drinks. They didn't come and say, hi, my name is. They just sat us down and left us there for a while. And because we were young people talking from church, we were just talking and talking and talking and not really paying attention to the time. But all of a sudden we looked and we saw what time it was, and no one had come to greet us. No one had come to offer us a drink or anything. And so, me, I am like Peter. I stood up for the 11. I stood up and I said to the manager, what's going on here? This is not acceptable. And eventually he came over, he apologized and all that, and the entire table got our food free. Now, that was good for him, at that time, to try to compensate us for what they had done. But later on, because that happened to us over and over and over, but I started thinking about, how would I feel as a business owner? I know you didn't think I was going to say this, but I started thinking about, how would I feel as a business owner? And every time somebody complained, I gave them a free meal. I'm not making any money. So you're talking about a check of probably almost $200, um, and they didn't make any money, but they fed us. Well, yes, they may have had some, some stuff that they could give us and not lose out on business. We don't know. But the reality is they're in business to make money. And so I started changing how I responded to those type of situations because I started thinking about what if it was me in business. Number one, I know that I'm going to greet my clients when they come in, or I'm going to greet my patrons when they come in. But I started thinking about, sometimes people just complain over everything. You can't always, um, just give them everything for free. But you can compensate them one way or the other. You can give them a discount, you can give them an extra service or something like that. And so when I started going to restaurants like, now and maybe in the last few years, people would say to me, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I messed up. I can give you a free whatever." And I started turning it down. I started saying, "No, that's okay. Just make sure that you don't make that same mistake with the next person." Because it's better for me to say something to them so they can see where their error is and they can fix their error than to try to get something free every time. I grew out of that. It wasn't profitable for me to try to take from their business. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I saved that little $20 or whatever that I probably would have saved on the meal, but I'm sure I blew it on something else. So I ate, they gave me food, an entire meal. So why not give them their money? Because that person who I was talking to probably had nothing to do with what happened, but their check they might have had to use their money to cover that check. I don't know. So here's where integrity comes in. Your integrity has to say, well, I'm not going to do this. Instead, I'll just say something kind and help them for the next time. That's what we're talking about. Integrity. Not always looking for someone to give you something or looking for a fight or looking for something to be upset about, but learning how in every situation to let it be a learning curve or let it be something that's going to be more profitable. And let me tell you this one more story, and then I'm going to close. One day I went to a restaurant and I was with someone. I don't even remember who I was with, but I got let me see, Roxanne. They can also vow to do better and offer redirection to their staff to minimize those instances from occurring. That's absolutely correct. And I've had a few people to do that. They told me, that they were going to really work with the staff. And so that's a great point. But one day I went to a restaurant, I think it was Cracker Barrel. And I'm sitting in Cracker Barrel and I forgot who I was what with. And I believe it was a male person. I don't think it was a date or anything, but they was very patient and I was very impatient at the moment. I was like, this is getting on my nerves. Why is she coming back? What's taking her so long? She in between giving us something, she would not come back for a long time. And I'm trying to get what I need to get. And I saw someone and I asked them to have our waitress to come back. And when she came back, her face was very red and her eyes were red. And she said to me, she said, um, and I started out with, we've been waiting for you, something like that or whatever. But she apologized and all of that and asked what we wanted. She went, she got it, she came back. And she said to me, "I'm so sorry." She said, "I just found out that my brother is, they called us to the hospital. My brother is dying." Now, I've heard people say crazy stuff before, and sometimes they're just lying, but I could tell she was not lying. She had been crying, and immediately I had to apologize to her first. And then I prayed for her. And she was so happy just for the prayer. And I gave her tip because she had to go. But just like that, we don't know what situations and circumstances are going on. So my integrity should have been a little bit better as well. And then the people in the back that knew she was dealing with something, they could have also sent someone else out to help us while we were waiting. So there's different ways that we can help one another in these types of situations, but having better patience, having better integrity, having better responses to each other. These are things that we all need to work on and make sure that we are giving out the best service, the best care. And when we are dealing with people, understanding that it's what we're giving to someone else is what we would want to get back. That's what we should be giving, what we want to get back. Now, those of you that really know me know that's a work in progress for me. But I promise you, I'm doing a whole lot better. I still have road rage. Y'all pray for me. I still have road rage. I'm working on that really, really hard. But I am very serious about when it comes to business. We have to be able to deal with the people that we do, and sometimes the people are never going to be nice to us. They're not. They're coming to you for business. They want you. They want you to do the business for them. They may never smile. They may never say thank you. They may never shake your hand, but you continue to smile. You continue to say thank you for your business. You continue to show them the better side of you. Let's have better business etiquette and better business integrity. I hope that I was able to say something to encourage all of you on today who have joined in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you for your comments, and those that will come on for the replay. You can put your comments, your questions in. I'd love to hear from you. And make sure you share this and let someone else know that Miss G's Ladies Lounge has been on the air on today. I appreciate every one of you. We are working back towards bringing our guests back in the near future. Right now, I'm just trying to revamp the show a little bit, and the Lord just gave me to just come on and just share some things on myself. I've been really hesitant to do that, but he just told me to just go ahead and share some things myself. So here I am. Again, you have been watching Miss G's Ladies Lounge, and I am your host, Gwen Finley, otherwise known as Miss G. That's me. I am also an author of the book Let the Vision Speak. So those of you that is looking to purchase my book, you can go to Amazon.com where you can pick up Let the Vision Speak. It's actually now the price has been lowered, and it is actually now at I believe it's $14.99. So you can go over there and you can get that book today on sale. Is actually the price that I just changed the price to $14.99, because we had our 1 year anniversary, and so I wanted to go ahead and just let people be able to purchase it, and that will remain the price. Again, I also would love for you to stop by my website. There you can see all the different things that's going on with me, Gwen Finley. We have our VIP coaching and consulting. You can go there, you can read up on us, and you can also sign up for some sessions if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching on business coaching and consulting. We can get you started. I am the visionary startup coach for VIP coaching and consulting. We can get you started. We can get you get those dreams and visions out of your head and bring them to reality. Let the world know what's going on with you. What I do with this business is I will sit down with you. I will go over the thoughts and the visions that you have. We can help put them into perspective, and then we can work on some of the resources that I have that will allow you to bring those visions to life. And we can work on that together. It's not, you can't give me your vision and expect me to do it for you. This is your vision. So I will help you work your vision. All right. So if you're interested, go on over there and join me and see some of the other things that you may, if you just want just general coaching and consulting, ministry coaching, consulting, or if you just need someone to talk to, I am here for you. Again, my name is Ms. Gwen Finley. I love each and every one of you. I hope that you have the best night's rest on tonight and you wake up ready, 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 ready for the next day's journey. It's going to be a wonderful day. Tuesday is going to be so terrific. You're going to say to yourself, I can't believe this myself. All right. Well, you guys have a wonderful evening. Remember, God loves you, and so do I.